Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
Shalom and blessings, family. I hope everybody's doing well today. It's your brother Bunya again with a quick hitter. While I wait for just a few more people to get in the room, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play a little beat for you guys. That one it's really good beat, and I like it. So I want to share it with you guys before I get into this quick topic real. All right, now let me just play this beat real quick. Share my screen and sound with you. And once a few people get in here, then I'll get into the topic. All right. So let me share this real quick with you guys. Mm. Bet y'all didn't know your boy do these beats, huh? Thinking about using this on the presentation. I don't know. Maybe closing credits. I'll use it. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what we got here. All right, we got 9 people in here. What's up? Let's get to it. Okay. Shalom and blessings, family. Shalom and blessings, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Shalom and blessings, brother Hal. Shalom and blessings, Katrina Brown, Nisi Lewis. Shalom, sister. How you doing? Albany, Georgia. Shalom and blessings. And Anayana Coleman. Shalom and blessings, family. You part of Salt family. You know all of y'all salt. All of y'all the salt of the earth. Linya Israel, shalom and blessings, sister. Patricia Thomas, peace and blessings to you, sister. Image of Shiloh, shalom and blessings, brother. Brother Cleo, how's it going? What's up, big bro? All right, so every now and then we get some questions in the email, and typically we answer those questions via email, but the brother that sent this email, when I tried to answer it, for some reason, I don't know if he decided to erase it or what, but for some reason I wasn't able to answer the question on the email because the question was gone. So just in case there's someone who may have the same questions, I'm going to answer it on this quick hitter real quick. Now let me show you guys the question. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen again with you, and I'm going to show you what the question was. I'm glad to hear that, brother Cleo. But of course you would let your young bro know if anything was going on too. Let's see. Share this. All right, that, and let's bring up the question. So the question by Solomon Sibrel. He says, or she says, I'm guessing it's a he by the name Solomon. He said, very interested in your understanding of Acts 7 and 17 that discloses that the time of the promise made to Abraham was fulfilled while the children of Israel were in Mizraim. That's the question, first question. And then he says, it appears they sojourned longer than they were afflicted. Exodus 1 tells us they were in Egypt without affliction. Then a new Pharaoh arose that afflicted them. Basically, they sojourned or abided in Egypt more than 400 years. But out of their time there, they were afflicted 400 of their years. Thank you for your response. Now, the obvious thing that comes to mind after reading the whole question is that this person did not watch the video in its entirety. All right, that's obvious because we most definitely prove without a shadow of a doubt through biblical sources that are recognized throughout the community um as being viable in being a good source of reference that Israel did not sojourn in Egypt for 400 years. And I'm not even talking about the extra biblicals. I'm talking about the Septuagint. I'm talking about uh, Josephus. I'm talking about just the Bible 66 in itself. You can prove that they were not in Egypt for 400 years. All right. So we prove without a shadow of a doubt that that was impossible. And we went through the numbers of it all. Now, let's get to Acts. Now, we did cover some verses in Acts chapter 7. Mainly, we covered the time of when the affliction started, which is when Moses was born. All right. So, if the affliction started when Moses was born and Moses led the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt at the age of 80, that right there, that's a far leap from 400 years. All right. And then there's some questions you have to ask yourself. How many pharaohs were there within this time span of 400 years? Right? Now, let's get to Acts chapter 7 because it's a common misconception that this promise that it's speaking of in Acts chapter 7 and 17 is talking about the Most High speaking to Abraham and saying that his children would be afflicted 400 years. That is not the promise that was made to Abraham. So let's take a look at this. All right. Now, Acts 7 and 17. Right. It says, but when the time of the promise drew nigh, which God sworn to Abraham, the people grew and multiplied in Egypt, till another king arose which knew not Joseph. Now, that's not very much to run off of. All right. That's not much to go off of in terms of the promise. All right. So, but if we look up the word promise within this context of this scripture, all right, and As you can see, it says promise, the Greek 1860. And this is what we're dealing with, the Greek 1860, right? And it says espagalia, right? Or espan el lia, right? Now, it says an announcement for information, assent, or pledge, especially a divine assurance of good message, promise. All right. So when we're talking about a promise, we're not talking about affliction. When we speak about the promise, we're not talking about oppression. We're not talking about the bad things that would come. All right. Now, how do we know that? Let's talk about the promise. What are some of the things that the Most High promised to Abraham? Even after we speak of Genesis 15 and 12 through let's say 12 to 14. All right. One of the promises the Most High made to Abraham is in 15 and 18, and he says, in the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Right now, that's something that he promised to give Abraham's seed, right? But is this the promise that he made to Abraham? I would say no, this is not the promise that he made to Abraham, but this is also a statement of something good that he would do for Abraham's seed. But I want to get to what he would say to Abraham directly as a promise. All right. Now, in order to get that, we got to go a little bit further back into Genesis. And here we go. Now, this is what he promised to Abraham. All right. Now let's start from Genesis 12 and 1. And it says, now the Lord had said unto Abraham, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto the land that I show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing, and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curseth thee. And in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Now, this is what the Most High promised to Abraham. This is something good that the Most High promised to Abraham. But is this recognized as a promise? Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Well, we have Psalms 105 and 41 through 42. And this says he opened the rock and the water gushed out, and they ran to the dry place like a river, for he remembered his holy promise in Abraham his servant. But it doesn't say too much in the way of what this promise was. But let's go a little bit further. Now, the certainty of God's promise. Now, and it says, for when God made promise to Abraham, because he could swear by no greater, he swore by himself, saying, surely blessing I will bless thee, and multiply I will multiply thee. And so after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. All right. So this is known as the promise, when the Most High said that he would bless Abraham and multiply him. That was the promise. The promise was not, and I repeat, the promise was not that Abraham's seed would go through affliction in some place. All right. So when we have people that come to the channel and they're in opposition of the 400 years, they would come in not even knowing what the information is saying, and they would jot down stuff like this. Why? Because what people are used to doing is they're used to coming in and saying their piece without getting the information. A lot of people don't want the information. A lot of people don't care about the information, right? They only care about trying to put their point in front of you without even knowing what the information is saying, you know. So this is a common thing that we deal with over here at Salt of the Earth. We deal with a lot of brothers, a lot of sisters, a lot of different individuals coming in and thinking that they're dealing with a group of people, you know, which is the brothers and sisters that Salt of the Earth, dealing with a group of people who have not studied and they're assuming. All right. So for that brother that's out there, or whoever this is who asked this question, hopefully this gives you your answer. All right. Because even if you continue to read, as I said, if you continue to read down in Acts, it's obvious that the promise was not Israel going through affliction. The promise was made to Abraham that his seed after him would be blessed and that he would multiply. Um now I did play a little bit of music beforehand, so I have been on a little bit more than 15 minutes, and I typically like these quick hitters to be, you know, a little short. But since I'm on a topic of answering questions, um, if there's anybody that has any questions concerning the 400-year prophecy, you can ask them right now, and I'll try to get you an answer real quick. So if you have any questions, let's get them right now. Um, and I'll give you a few minutes to comprise your question while I go and grab something to drink. All right. Now, let me what I'll do while we're waiting is I'll put on another beat. All right. So I'm gonna put on another beat, and we're gonna see if we got any questions, and see if I can answer them. All right. Okay. Oh, as a matter of fact, yeah, I'll play this video. This is a good one. Atomic Beats.
Failure never made it. My family devastated. A lifetime just wasted. Bitterness has been tasted because I never made it. My family devastated. A lifetime just wasted because I never made it.
Living in the world where nothing in this life is free, and making money is what only made sense to me. Make money, take money, that's what I would hear. Pop bottles, get the champagne crystal clear. In a fast car, switching lanes, switching gears, keep the music bumping, so I'm drowning out my pain and tears. I'm thinking I would be a famous rapper, make a record about slanging and drugs and name it after everyone that said that I would never make it. So hour after hour, I'm pursuing greatness and never stop to think on how the Lord is gracious, and never stop to thank the Lord for his patience. Too busy on the corner trying to make a statement that you kill your own brother, lay him on the pavement. Now, how are we supposed to ever build a nation when they feed us false dreams and their aspirations?
Failure never made it. Our family devastated. A lifetime just wasted. Bitterness has been tasted because I never made it. Our family devastated. A lifetime just wasted because I never made it.
We put so much into this world and we can show for it. Just to pimp your ride and get someone to show for it. Dope boy, just gotta get the dough, homie. I gotta shine, get the spinners with the chrome on it. If this is life, then consider me a failure. I never made it in this world cause I'm rebellious. I couldn't copy them and do what others do. I gotta live for what is right, I gotta live for what is true. I'm glad I didn't miss the fork in the road, cause I had to pull over for the sake of my soul. So now my bitterness is tasting kinda bittersweet, cause I escaped the devil's trickery. And now I just wanna live for my savior, dodging darts of pagans in a boxing ring with Satan. I got angels in my corner, so who cares how they feel? I ain't making it in this world, so I could do the Father's will. Real
Failure, never made it. My family devastated. A lifetime just wasted. Bitterness has been tasted because I never made it. My family devastated. A lifetime just wasted because I never made it.
God is all you had and God is all you ever need. Just put the two together with some faith, just like a mustard seed. The Father's not the Son is not the Father, and the wisdom of this world is foolishness to my power. They slipped the Trinity in the 4th century, but when you look at history, you're feeling all the missing keys. Now I'm on my knees praying that he'll take my sins. I try to find my friends, but they blowing in the wind. This the world we live in, a world that gives me chills, where stocks are corporate lies and politicians kill. Drones is in the hood, they blink and snap your picture. They vaccinate the public, but our children's getting sicker. I try to tell my people, but they don't want to listen. They either chasing money or caught up in religion. The prophecies was written, I don't know what to tell you. I only thank the Most High that I became a
failure, never made it. My family devastated. A lifetime just wasted. Bitterness has been tasted because I never made it. My family devastated. A lifetime just wasted because I never made it.
All right. So, see if we got some questions here. All right. Okay. Let's see if what I can get to here. All right. So let's look over, see what we got here. All right. That the 7-year tribulation start at the same time of the 400 years. All right. So this has been sort of the Earth's stance concerning tribulation. All right, we have been in tribulation. This 7-year tribulation that people are speaking of that's supposed to come on Israel, there is no tribulation. We've been in Jacob's trouble. Now, the reason why I say this is because a lot of times, because we have been cut off from being a nation and that we have been discontinued from our heritage, a lot of times we tend to not recognize the suffering that our people have gone through in the past. Now, let's take a look at something. Jacob's trouble and the curses are all one and the same. And we actually have that in previous videos concerning Jacob's trouble, where we actually speak on the curses and the plagues being one and the same. But once the 400 years is up and we leave this country, there's no more affliction, right? What the 400-year marks is the Most High beginning to transfer the curses off of Israel unto the other nations. And you can also watch that within the second Exodus part 2, plagues, where we go into great detail concerning the plagues that will come on the other nations and the passing of the cup and so on and so forth. You can get a lot of information from that, Yahuwah's daughter of Zion. Now, again, Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is a time of great mourning, a time of great distress for Israel. So a lot of times what we have to do is we have to put ourselves in the shoes of our ancestors and ask yourself, in 70 AD, did our forefathers think that this was great distress on their people, where millions were slaughtered and starved to death within Jerusalem? Or when they were carried away captive, into other lands, or the Spanish Inquisition, or the Papal Bull, or the transatlantic slave trade, or the millions of babies aborted, or the mass incarceration that our people face, or the genocide we face through all of these things. Is that Jacob's trouble? And absolutely it is. All right. So a lot of times we have to drop a lot of the things that Christianity gave us. Basically, I would say drop it all. Drop everything that Christianity gave you and learn all over again. All right. Because Christianity doesn't care about Israel. So Christianity's focus is going to be on, tribulation is coming to the whole earth. But why is tribulation coming to the whole earth? Tribulation is coming to the whole earth because of what they did to Israel. All right. So the salvific event to come is tribulation to the other nations, but not to us. And this would actually, it would begin at the 400-year mark. And if anybody's been keeping an open eye of what's been happening, this virus dropped in 2019, and it's been wreaking havoc ever since. Let's see if we can move on to another question, if we have another question. Shalom, brother Eric. Is that the only question we had? Who was the king that Joseph did not know? Or who was the king that or do you mean the king that didn't know Joseph, or the king that Joseph did not know? Brother Cleo, you said the king that Joseph did not know, or the king that did not know Joseph? Oh, Brother Keith Robinson. Let's see. We got a question from Brother Keith up above. Okay. Matthew 16:28. Rarely I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Is the people Jesus talking to still alive today? I would say no. He's not speak. All right, so let's go to that. Let's go to that verse. Matthew 16:28. Let's read a little bit before then. All right. Cause there's several ways to look at that verse. Hold on. Excuse me. Excuse me. Grab a couple of other ones. All right. Pardon me real quick. I bet you that's my wife. Hello. Hey, I'm doing a quick hitter right now, babe. Let me holler back at you. All right. Love you. All right. Let me grab a couple of verses here. All right. All right, so Matthew 16 and 28. Now, let me share my screen real quick and pull this up. So I'm going to start from 16 and 24. All right, and let me make this fuller so you can see it a little bit better. And what we have. All right, and I want to make this full. Do we have a full screen here? All right, great. Now, so Matthew 16 and 24 to 28. And it says, Then said Jesus unto his disciples, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. All right. Now, these are key right here, right? These are key. That's key. Remember that. It says, for what is a man's profit if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man shall come in glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Now, what this is speaking about is what some Christians would call the rapture. Now, in the presentation, I'm not actually going to go into detail on that, but this is talking about a resurrection, right? And it says, verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. All right. So does that mean that there were people standing there that did not die? No. This is talking about the resurrection. This is talking about this death is talking about the second death. Right. Now, remember, the context is all of this. The context of all of this is speaking about Mashiach coming, those who believe in Mashiach that will not lose their life. But then it says again, it says, whosoever shall lose his life for my sake shall find it. Now it's talking about, hey, so obviously someone here has lost their life, right? Someone has lost their life, but they shall find it. What does that mean? That means they have died, but they are being resurrected. All right, now let's go to this next one. And it says in Hebrews 9 and 27, and as it is appointed unto all, as it is appointed unto men once to die, after this is the judgment. All right, now this judgment is actually called the second death. All right, this is the death that Mashiach is talking about, that those that believe in him will not taste. All right, now let's move forward. Let's talk about the church of Smyrna. All right, now it says, as about the church of Smyrna, it says, unto the angels of the church of Smyrna write these things, saying, the first and the last which was dead and is alive. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogues of Satan. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. What is the second death? Let's get it. The second death. This is what Mashiach is talking about, them not tasting death. All right? All right. Now, the second death is the judgment. Right? Now, let's go here. Now, judgment before the great white throne. Let's start at Revelation 12 and 20 and 12. It says, and I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were open. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. Remember, Mashiach said he would give everybody according to their works, but this is the second judgment, right? This is the lake of fire judgment. This is also known as the second death. But it says again, as we continue on, it says, and the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death, right? And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So that's the second death. That's what Mashiach is talking about when we go into Matthew's chapter 16, verse 28. It's not talking about them dying right there. It's talking about the second death. They should not taste the second death. Why? Because they will be resurrected. And he goes into the whole understanding of how you obtain that by believing in Mashiach. That's why it's marked, take up your cross and follow Jesus. All right. And that's the subtitle of this particular segment of Matthew's chapter 16. So it's talking about the second death. It's not talking about them dying the first time. Yeah. But let me stop sharing. I hope that was adequate enough. I'm sure there's others that could go into other greater detail on this subject, and I probably could too if I was allotted a little bit more time. Yeah, we're definitely in Jacob's trouble, right? Romans 2:9, tribulation and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also of the Gentile. Oh, yeah. So we actually have a teaching on that too, Brother Clear. As you know, the king that didn't know Joseph, a lot of people assume that it was an Egyptian, but it was actually a Canaanite king that was ruling in Syria at the time, who overthrew the Egyptian king and then took charge of Egypt and then began to afflict the children of Israel. Now, the key points in that is that this king was a Canaanite king that happened to be ruling the Syria area that he had previously conquered. His interest in stopping the children of Israel or enslaving them was all because he did not want them to inherit that land that the Most High had promised them. All right. Exactly. And that's another question that I also posed to the brother that asked the question initially about Acts 7 and 17, right? How many pharaohs were there within that time span of affliction? You know, what did this pharaoh live for 400 years and afflict? Because we know that's the pharaoh that rose up didn't know Joseph, right? But then there's other logical things to inquire. Matthew 26:29, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until I drink it anew. Absolutely. Exactly. Exactly. He was a king, a Canaanite king. So everybody's that's been actually watching this channel and getting the information, you're really a par up above a lot of people concerning the 400-year prophecy. If we specialize in anything, that's it. And many times we'll go out and now I don't want to say make challenges, but we invite people to the show. We invite people to the live, to the platform, and we've always treated all our guests with respect and things like that. So we say, we can have a discussion. We want a dialogue on it. And really our intentions is to really hear what people have to say on it, and then I ask them some questions, because we have all the work right there, and anybody that's wise in who they have the discussions with, they have the opportunity to go to our page and look at the the information that we have there concerning the 400-year prophecy. It's the brother Cleo did an excellent job categorizing all the information, right? So a lot of times I think it's really intimidating because people might look and see how much information we got on it, or how much stuff we segmented off into particular subjects that we went into. And because of that, people will agree to come on, and then they'll see the information, and then they'll draw back and say, nah, we're not going to come on, you know. So I mean, if you brothers and sisters ever see anybody having something that's contrary to the 400 years, please, by all means, invite them to have that discussion with us, because our search is for truth. Not that we be correct all the time, but if we be incorrect, it is important that we show people, because we got you brothers and sisters that have been listening to us, which you are all also welcome to challenge our views, if they don't fall in line to you. The brother Image of Shallow said, I think history records him as a Haiti, yeah, a Haiti or a horror, yeah, definitely. Exactly. We were in Egypt for 400 years. Indeed, Sister Rachel. There's so much truth out there. We find truth in many places. And we also, we're blessed to be able to see these things and be able to search these things out. It's so much more easier now. And I mean, it's not like we got to go to a library and look and try to find each book, to find each information. It's so easy right now, and knowledge has increased for anybody. And it's crazy when I come across brothers and sisters that don't even know we Israelites, and I'm like, man, in the age of information, you don't even know what's going on, and it's crazy, you know. But yeah, indeed, brother Kadar, salt of the earth got all the things covered, especially with you brothers coming together. We got the brother Kadar, we got the brother Ebri, the brother Cleo, we got brother Hal and brother Yashadet. So these brothers that these brothers are forced to be reckoned with when you talking about biblical knowledge, you know. When you talk about biblical knowledge, these brothers are forced to be reckoned with, you know. And then if you talking about practicality, you talking about, just straight wisdom. The brothers over here that we dealing with, they not no joke, you know. And I think like minds gravitate towards each other, but not even just salt of the earth. You got the brothers out there from Sakari, the deacon, he taking down Berean Show single-handedly. But I mean, just outside of that, also you got Dante Fortson, you got the brothers at Tau Ministry, you got the sister E, You got the brother Pastor Kelly at We Woke Church always putting out awesome information, you know. So when you see people trying to come up in like Garfield and different other entities trying to come up and really naysay against what Israel has been accomplishing through the Most High awakening us, it's really in desperation. It's in desperation. The awakening been happening. We've been awakening by the millions. It's not small now. This church, this channel is relatively small. We get maybe 400 or 500 views here and there. But there's brothers out there that's pulling in 20,000 views, and not just salt of the earth. I mean, like I said, it's all over the place. It's unstoppable, you know. So, here we acknowledge all our brothers and sisters that are Israelites and who are walking accordingly, who trying to keep the Most High's commandments through the faith in Mashiach, you know. So exactly, exactly. Right now, what we can do is just sit back and watch the fireworks, because the Most High has been doing a great work in the earth. Even before we even realized that he was doing these things, he was setting these things up. You know, a lot of people expect things to happen in their time, like 1, 2, 3. But you got to realize that when the Most High was freeing us out of Egypt, that's the only place we was at. We was just at Egypt. Right now we scattered throughout the earth. So these plagues and things that's coming, 250 plagues. That tells you it's not just one place. But it's wherever our people are scattered abroad. But the Most High is bringing all these different plagues out because of where we're scattered at. So the time of these plagues coming out, it's not going to be the same time as it did with Egypt. It's not going to be that way. And then also you got to realize the Most High been having things culminating for a long time, even before you realize you was an Israelite. Things may have been culminating. And these are the things that bring down kingdoms. Financial collapse. You got civil unrest. You got famine going throughout the earth. You got water and blood in the water and things like that. Water turning blood red, mass animal die-offs. You got sickness. You got these this virus, to speak of one. This is just one of the different things going throughout the earth, right? So it's not gonna happen the way people think it's gonna happen. Even though the Most High, he doesn't need anybody to bring any nuclear bombs to any place, to drop no bombs on a kingdom to get rid of it. The Most High bring it down on his own. You got rats all over the earth. You got all kinds of different things that's culminating, and all these things that come together, it results in kingdoms crumbling. But if we're talking about this kingdom in particular, it's going to get to a point that they can't sustain us. It's going to get to a point that they can't sustain us, and they're going to be looking for a way out. So they're going to be like, look, you guys go, man. Here, take whatever you need and get out of our sight, and take these plagues with y'all. Perfect storm, exactly. Shalom and blessing, brother Gabar Malak. Glad to see you here. Exactly. Perfect storm, Smitty. But just it's all culminating. It's all culminating and building up, and it's all going to result in us being let go. Only thing we got to do is be diligent, keep the most high's law, statutes, and commandments, keep the faith of Mashiach, right? And just be diligent, be patient. The Father he's already beginning to move on our behalf. And as for salt of the earth, you know, I'm gonna put out I'm going to put out the release date for the video, and I'm going to put forth my best effort to make sure it's complete in its entirety, because I know you brothers and sisters have been waiting. You know, the virus kind of threw me off. I got sick. You know, we had different things happening, and I, you know, I always take it like this: in the Most High's time, the Most High wants things to happen when He wants them to happen. You know, so a lot of times when things don't go on schedule, I don't really get a big head, or get upset about it. You know, I just be like, okay, what, so this might have happened because the Most High wants it to come out at a later date. You know, as long as I'm doing my part and being diligent, then, you know, I don't find any fault with myself. I do find myself to be a little bit disappointed because I know the brothers and sisters have been waiting for the information, but you know, I just make sure that the information that I do put out is sound and correct. You know, brother Smitty. All right, so just like Pharaoh told us to go, there's truly nothing new under, exactly. There's nothing new under the sun, bro. You know, a lot of times people think that the Most High got to do something new. He got to use nuclear bombs and all that. That's not how the Most High works. The Most High would take the weakest people, you know, the people that's presumed to be the weakest. He'll take the trodden down, the oppressed, those in captivity, you know, and he'll use them for a battle axe and destroy kingdoms. You know what I mean? You know, he'll say, ye are my weapons of warfare. You know, brother Yah Shadiq says, thy nakedness should be uncovered, yea, thy shame should be seen. I would take vengeance, and I would not meet thee as a man. Yeah, the Most High don't need no man. The Most High don't need no man to do His bidding. You know, indeed. We got here, Sister Rachel. Shalom and blessings, brother Smitty. We call part here are the emails for some. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Remember, I'm gonna keep that up right there. I'm gonna get that back up before I leave. Yeah, they're trying to distract us now by appointing our people to prominent positions. Yeah, of course, and that's just anytime they want to promote our people to a certain position. Always remember that they only doing that to have a fall guy. You know what I mean? That's all that's about. To have somebody to blame. Because the way these people think, all the damage could have been done before they even put those people in the office or put them in a position. And then the moment things fall, you guys, yeah, it was you guys. You see what I'm saying? So they're always trying to look to users as a scapegoat or the reason why something didn't work or something failed. You know, exactly, exactly. But with that being said, I'm about to cut out of here. I want you brothers and sisters to have a blessed day. Your brother got to get over here to the plantation and get this done. But with that being said, I want to say shalom and blessings, everyone. Let me put the sister Rachel's thing back up. Shalom and blessings, brothers and sisters. Have a great day. As always, walk in obedience, walk in faith, and walk in grace, Israel. This has been another quick long hitter by your brother Bunya. Shalom and blessings.